After 42 years working as an ER surgeon, I started noticing something strange happening to me. The same complaints I used to hear from older patients: heavy legs, poor circulation, that frustrating feeling that your body just isn't keeping up. I was feeling them myself. That's when it really hit me. I wasn't just treating this anymore, I was living it. So I decided to run an experiment, not on patients this time, but on myself. I took the most basic daily habit, drinking water, and started tweaking it. I tried over 60 different powders, natural ingredients, and combinations. Some did nothing, a few made things worse, most were a complete waste of time, but a handful, and I mean a very small handful, actually changed something real. Here's what surprised me most. It was never about drinking more water, it was about how your body responds to the water you drink, and after age 60, that response gets weaker unless you trigger it the right way. When I finally sorted through everything, only 5 additions made a clear, noticeable difference. Not tiny changes over months, but real improvements. Better circulation, lighter legs, a body that feels more responsive. That's when I understood why so many seniors do all the right things but still feel stuck. They're missing one small shift that changes how the body uses what you give it. In this video, I'll share those 5 specific water additions ranked from least to most powerful. And number 3 almost got ignored by me completely, but in the end, it made the biggest difference of all. If you're curious about where this research comes from, I've put the details in the description below. Before we start, quick question: how old are you? I read every single comment, and I genuinely love to know. All right, let's begin with number 5, because this one starts changing how your body responds within minutes. Number 5 is cucumber and mint infusion. This is one of the simplest changes you can make, but most people overlook it completely. We're talking about adding fresh cucumber slices and a handful of mint leaves to your water, then letting it sit for at least half an hour before drinking. Now, you might be thinking this sounds like something from a fancy spa, but the science behind it is serious. Cucumbers are packed with a compound called silica, which helps keep your blood vessel walls strong and flexible. As we age past 60, those walls get thinner and less stretchy, making it harder for blood to flow smoothly. Silica helps reinforce the connective tissue holding those vessels together. One study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging found that people who increased their silica intake showed a 12% improvement in arterial flexibility over 12 weeks. That's huge, because even a small gain in flexibility means better blood pressure control and more efficient oxygen delivery. The mint isn't just for flavor either. Mint contains rosmarinic acid, a natural compound that helps blood vessels relax and widen. When your vessels are wider, blood flows with less resistance and less strain on your heart. A study in phytomedicine showed that rosmarinic acid cut vascular resistance by about 15% in older adults after just 2 weeks of regular use. Here's how to make it. Slice half a medium cucumber thinly, take 10 to 12 fresh mint leaves, and gently crush them between your fingers to release the oils, then drop everything into a pitcher of filtered water. Let it sit in the fridge for at least 30 minutes, though letting it steep overnight gives you the strongest result. Drink at least 3 glasses throughout the day. The key is doing it consistently, because the benefits build up over time as your blood vessels slowly regain elasticity. Make a fresh batch every morning and keep it cold so the active compounds stay potent. One tip: use organic cucumbers when you can, since most of the silica is in the skin and you don't want pesticides leaching into your drink. This simple combo works on 2 fronts at once, strengthening vessel walls while also relaxing them for easier blood flow. Plain water just can't do that on its own, but cucumber and mint are only the beginning, because the next trick targets something even deeper inside your bloodstream. Number 4 is lemon and raw ginger water. This combination has been used in traditional medicine for centuries, and now modern science has caught up to explain exactly why it works so well for circulation in aging adults. Squeeze fresh lemon juice into your water and add thin slices of raw ginger root. Lemons are one of the richest natural sources of vitamin C, which is absolutely essential for making a molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide acts like a master switch for your blood vessels. It tells them when to relax and widen so blood can flow freely to your hands, feet, brain, and heart. The problem is that after 60, your body produces much less nitric oxide on its own. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults with higher vitamin C levels had 23% more nitric oxide available compared to those with low intake. That difference can mean everything when it comes to avoiding cold hands, fatigue, and fuzzy thinking. Now, the ginger takes things even further. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols and shogaols, which help prevent your blood from getting too sticky and clumping together. When blood platelets clump, flow slows down and your risk of dangerous clots goes up. A clinical trial in thrombosis research showed that people who consumed about 2 g of raw ginger daily for 8 weeks had a 19% reduction in platelet aggregation. That means smoother, safer blood flow through their entire cardiovascular system. To make it right, squeeze 1 whole fresh lemon into a large glass of water, then peel a 1 piece of raw ginger, slice it into thin coins, and drop them in. Let the ginger sit for at least 15 minutes so the active compounds can leach into the water. You can also grate the ginger finely if you want a stronger kick. Drink this first thing in the morning on an empty stomach because absorption is highest when your digestive system isn't busy with food. Aim for 2 servings a day, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. The lemon and ginger work together perfectly. Vitamin C boosts nitric oxide production, while ginger keeps your blood flowing smoothly. If the ginger feels too strong, start with a smaller piece and work your way up over a week or 2 as your taste buds adjust. Now, this next trick takes things to another level because it targets your red blood cells directly. Number 3 is beetroot juice diluted in water. Over the past decade, beetroot juice has taken the cardiovascular research world by storm, and for good reason. Beets are the single richest natural source of dietary nitrates, which your body converts directly into nitric oxide through a pathway that starts in your mouth and continues through your stomach. As we said, nitric oxide is the key molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. But here's what makes beetroot different. The nitrate concentration is so high that you can measure the effects within just a few hours. A groundbreaking study in the journal Hypertension found that people who drank about 250 milliliters of beetroot juice had a significant drop in blood pressure and a 20% increase in blood flow to their muscles within only 3 hours. That's not gradual improvement over months. That's your body responding almost immediately. Another study from the University of Exeter in the Journal of Applied Physiology showed that older adults who drank beetroot juice daily for 2 weeks had a 16% improvement in exercise endurance, directly linked to better oxygen delivery through improved circulation. We dilute it in water for 2 reasons. First, concentrated beetroot juice can be harsh on an older stomach, and diluting makes it easier to digest. Second, sipping it over a longer period gives your body a steady release of nitrates instead of one big spike. To prepare, take about 100 ml of pure beetroot juice with no added sugar and mix it into a large glass of water, roughly 300 milliliters. Stir well and drink it in the morning, ideally about 2 hours before any physical activity because that's when nitric oxide conversion peaks. If you prefer whole beets, boil or roast 1 medium beet and blend it with water to make your own fresh juice. Consistency matters most because daily intake keeps nitric oxide levels elevated throughout the day instead of creating short, temporary spikes. One note, beetroot juice may turn your urine or stool reddish. That's completely harmless. It's just a natural pigment called betanin passing through your system. Don't let it alarm you. It actually means the active compounds are being processed properly. But as powerful as beets are, the next trick works through a completely different mechanism that most people have never even heard of. Number 2 is cayenne pepper warm water tonic. This one might sound intense, but the research behind it is absolutely compelling, especially for adults over 60 dealing with poor circulation in their legs, hands, and feet. Add a small amount of cayenne pepper to warm water and drink it as a daily tonic. Cayenne contains a compound called capsaicin, which is what gives spicy food its burn. But what most people don't realize is that capsaicin is one of the most powerful natural vasodilators ever studied. When capsaicin enters your bloodstream, it triggers the release of 2 neuropeptides that cause your blood vessels to expand rapidly. A clinical study in clinical nutrition found that people who consumed capsaicin daily for 4 weeks had a 26% improvement in peripheral blood flow, meaning blood was reaching their extremities much more effectively. Another study in the British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology showed that capsaicin increased microcirculation, the flow through your tiniest capillaries, by up to 31% in older adults. That's huge because microcirculation is what delivers oxygen and nutrients directly to your tissues at the cellular level. When it declines, you get symptoms like numb toes, slow wound healing, and skin that bruises easily. To make this tonic, start with a large mug of warm water, not boiling, just comfortably warm. Add just 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper powder and stir until fully dissolved. This starting dose is very mild and will only produce a gentle warmth in your throat and stomach. Over 2 weeks, you can gradually work up to a 1/4 teaspoon as your tolerance builds. Drink this once daily, preferably in the morning about 30 minutes before breakfast. The warm water helps the capsaicin absorb more quickly through your stomach lining. If the taste is too sharp, add a small squeeze of lemon to mellow it out without reducing effectiveness. People on blood thinning medication should check with their doctor before starting this because capsaicin can enhance those effects. But for most healthy adults over 60, this tonic is a safe and remarkably effective way to push blood into areas of your body that have been slowly losing circulation for years. Now, everything we've covered so far is powerful, but this final trick produced the most dramatic results researchers say they've ever seen in a circulation study. Number 1 is hibiscus flower cold brew. This one earned the top spot, and once you hear the research, you'll understand why. Hibiscus flowers, specifically the dried petals of Hibiscus sabdariffa, contain an extraordinarily high concentration of anthocyanins and polyphenols that work on your blood vessels in a way no other natural ingredient can match. When you cold brew these petals in water overnight, you extract the maximum amount of these compounds without destroying them with heat. A landmark clinical trial in the Journal of Human Hypertension studied adults with an average age of 65 and found that those who drank hibiscus water daily for 6 weeks had a 44% improvement in flow-mediated dilation, the gold standard measurement for how well your blood vessels expand and contract. That 44% number stunned the researchers because it rivals the effects of some prescription medications designed specifically for vascular health. Another major study in phytotherapy found that hibiscus extract reduced arterial stiffness by 17% in older adults over just 4 weeks. Arterial stiffness is one of the main drivers of poor circulation after 60 because stiff arteries can't flex and push blood forward the way healthy elastic vessels can. The anthocyanins in hibiscus work by increasing nitric oxide availability while simultaneously reducing oxidative stress in the cells that line your arteries. Think of it as both boosting the signal for your vessels to relax and cleaning up the damage that's been preventing them from responding properly. To make it correctly, take 2 TBSP of dried hibiscus petals and place them in a large glass jar with about 1 L of cold filtered water. Do not use hot water. Temperatures above 70 degrees C destroy a significant portion of the anthocyanins. Put the jar in your refrigerator and let it steep for at least 8 hours, though 12 hours gives you the strongest concentration. In the morning, strain out the petals and drink the deep red liquid throughout the day. It has a natural tart flavor similar to cranberry, and you can add a little raw honey if you want to soften it. Aim for 3 to 4 glasses spread across the day so your blood vessels get a continuous supply of these protective compounds. You can find dried hibiscus petals at most health food stores, international grocery shops, or online. They're very affordable, and 1 bag can last you weeks. Daily consistency is what matters most because the studies showing the strongest results all relied on regular, uninterrupted consumption over multiple weeks. This isn't a one-time fix. It's a daily habit that progressively restores vascular function you may have been losing for decades without even realizing it. And that brings us to the end of these 5 powerful tricks that can turn ordinary water into a circulation-boosting drink your body has been craving. The beautiful thing is that none of them require a prescription, none are expensive, and all are backed by real published clinical research. You can start with just one of these tricks today and build from there as you discover what works best for your body. Your blood vessels have the ability to recover and improve at any age. Sometimes all they need is the right support dissolved in a simple glass of water. If you enjoy content like this, make sure to subscribe to Mobile Lab for more videos. Thank you so much for watching.